Due to a zoning law which states that any farm in the area I am in would be sold to someone who would rather build houses than to farm the land, will disappear. The doing farm, like others in this area, have no heir. Therefore, this farm will very likely disappear within this decade. At the present, we will talk with Mr. Doing and go around his farm and just show you what type of beautiful land and what this farm, which is feeding many people, is going to happen. It's going to die. Come here.
Oh, you should cut her in quarter. Awful sore.
This is much of the Doing farm. This can be seen from the road. Much of the Doing farm extends on beyond the hill. Okay, we're on.
Well, I don't know. But, hey, as far as that goes, as far as,
You have to speak up kind of loud so that the microphone there on top of the camera can pick you up. Okay?
Oh, we got a lot of cows down there get over a machine pole when they're threshing. About 8 or 10 of them.
we got over 100 head here. Actually,
Keep one man awful busy to milk 100 head.
100 of them. Over 100?
well, I got about 115.
That's,
They come and go, I mean, I raise some and they have to call them all the while, so you call all the while because you have to. Because it don't produce, way out they go.
mm-hmm.
About 200 acres here, but that's not, the farm itself wouldn't support that number of cows, see, so I have to rent on the outside, produce hay, pasture on the outside. Try to make what I kind of like to make, around a ton of milk a day, but conditions vary that, you can't hold it, that's the idea.
Mhm.
Whether it's dry, cows get no grass or anything like that, you gotta stall feed them. Well, all those factors count. So,
Do you ever make a ton a day? I mean, does it happen occasionally?
well, that's what we like to, but we can't do it. Last year we did, this year we're not.
One year we made a lot of them, about 5,200 wasn't it? Every 2 days? Better than
Yeah.
2,500 a day.
Yeah. Well, we have, pretty close to 3 ton every 2 days, see, but that's,
Ooh.
they're up and they're down, see, I mean, it all depends on how priced they are.
3 tons of milk in 2 days sounds like an awful lot, you know?
Well, it is a lot of milk, I mean, compared to what we used to have.
Most of the young heifers now ain't producing much milk. About next year when they start producing a lot.
Mm-hmm. How does this farm compare with other farms around the area?
Well, they had a survey, the Farm Bureau had a survey. They have what they call the Eastern Plateau, sticks in 3 or 4 counties. And then it was computed, all this information was taken and computed by Cornell University. That's everything pertained to the farm, the income, the amount of expenses for gas, amount of expenses for taxes, all this, everything was computed right down. See. Well, they took 51 farms on the Eastern Plateau, and they compared them. I was one of them. So I was on an average, no give and take. Some items I was over, some items I was down, but I mean it was very close each way. Will the heat hurt that any?
I don't think so if he doesn't hit the wire.
That wire cleaning up.
Alright, me, so, it averaged up, see, as far as, oh, when I was a boy, there used to be a lot of farms right in this territory. You know, 40 cow herds, some bigger, some smaller, but too close into the city, and a lot of those barns. Well, people live there, but they don't farm, see, they work in town, stuff like that. You know, trend changes, is changing all over the country as far as they go. The trend is for bigger farms, more cattle, in a concentrated area. You have to do that in order to back with labor and stuff like that. What the ultimate result will be, why, it's hard to predict. So, I think in years to come, it'll be, the farms will all be incorporated in big companies. Small, but
Coming
small.
fire rates with mine.
Yeah. The small farms are depleting, that's all, they're just running. They can't compete.
Have you been offered to join like a farm corporation?
No. I don't mean by organization, I don't mean that.
Oh,
I mean like big companies step right in and they operate farms.
oh, I see.
See what I written that?
Like Jerry Lee would operate a large farm or something like that?
Yeah. They have a big number of cattle and you have to do that because a small individual, there's so many rules, regulations you have to cope with today that you just can't do it, that's all. The day's just not long enough to keep track of all the laws, rules, regulations that they expect you to abide by. Not only that, but these rules are constantly changing. And you've got to keep right up on it in order to know where you are, and all that's all there is to it. In fact, you're experts. They have to figure these things out, figure out what the law actually means.
Would you like to see the farm carried on after you are unable to work it?
Oh, by all means, I like that. But I would probably do it again, as far as that goes, but I would hate to see somebody go through the same thing that I have over the years. It's a good life, but you've got to like it, and you've got to take the ups and the downs just as they come. And it's constant. I mean, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. this idea of having time, it just isn't, that's all, because if you're gonna operate, you've got to be on the job, you can't be goofing off somewhere. So there's
Okay.
you've got to take the good times with the bad times. My father used to say, the pendulum swings. Swing to the poor times, you're gonna have a hard time getting by. And it'll swing back to the good times. When it's in the good times, you want to prepare for the poor times.
Mhm.
And he was absolutely right.
Did your father own this farm before you did?
Oh yes, they came here, my father and my uncle came here in 1907. I was born and raised here. Yeah, my farm, much more toast still, isn't it?
No, I just eat eggs and that's all.
So, well, quite a number of years.
Yeah, it is.
They were in the milk business all their life. So,
Did the zoning law exist when your father owned the farm?
no, not when they first. I can't tell you just when they threw on the zoning, what year they started at. Every year, I remember they had dirt roads, very few houses, there was only one other place here, one over there. And, well, they zoned it. You know, to get it all residential, see, all through here, but they had quite a fight in the town board. And, well, they had it agricultural and residential. So,
Mm-hmm.
as far as this farm here, I doubt very much if it's ever sold, it would continue as a farm because it's too close in to the city and it's more advisable for business or residents. That's the idea. So you're only about 3 miles right from the city, the center of the city. So, and your highways, you're right access to the big highways and everything else. It all depends on how the city expands, that's the idea, whether the city has a trend of going one way or the other. It all depends. If they get the building up through this way, well then the trend will come up through it. I remember Russell Avenue down there where they call it the Golden Mile. That was all farms, I remember that. Farms. Rough country, I mean, it was woods, hills, still is some of it right there. But the train got the buildings are there. The property went sky high.
Are there any places in the area where land is becoming farms that wasn't farms before?
Do
Are
I know
farms
that?
growing here? Yeah.
Close by here or down?
Well, anywhere in the counties around here.
Oh yeah, I should take over to, well, where the Binghamton State Hospital farms were. See, that's all the Rome industrial area now. That was all farms.